All right, so today's lesson is going to be experimental design. So since it's scientific research and design, I feel as if learning how to design an experiment is going to be important. When you guys get to college next year, or in 2 years, you're going to need to design your own experiments. Also, being able to design your own authentic experiment is more important than finding one online and doing that instead of somebody else. So being able to do your own experiment is going to be how you lead in the science world. So let's look at the scientific method. So first you start off with the problem. So can anybody tell me a world problem that you would like to try to solve? Animal cruelty, okay?
Global warming.
Global warming, okay? I like that. One more. Water pollution. I like that. Okay? So first you have a problem. And so let's say water pollution. So since we live in the Gulf Coast area, we're very close to water, which means we have access to water that we can help clean up. So we can do things like, send out, divers to get stuff, or you guys can come up with your own idea. So you have a problem. We have this dirty Galveston water. Now we need to figure out, you can turn that problem into a question. So the three of you guys who had a problem, can you turn that into a question? Okay, someone help them turn that into a question. Okay, how can recycling help reduce global warming? I like that. Okay, anyone else? Ashley? Stephanie?
How can we reduce plastic waste to decrease water pollution?
Okay, how can we decrease plastic waste to decrease water pollution? Okay, yeah, that's a good one, right? Come up with yours actually yet, or just okay? So once you have a problem, that problem a lot of times is based off of observation, or you can go back and do more observation. So and again, we're in the Gulf Coast, so in Stephanie's case, she can actually go to Galveston, look at the water, take samples of the water, go to a lab, do all kinds of things. With Leslie's, you can look at just cleaning, like look at the atmosphere, the atmosphere as far as like some of our factories, what is it put into the environment, things like that. So you would do your research. Then you will formulate a hypothesis. So you would take this question and you would turn it into a testable statement. So a hypothesis, I know you guys are younger, you've learned it was an if-then statement. So it's an if-then statement or a testable statement. I prefer testable statement because sometimes it may not be if this happens, then this happens. But it has to be a statement that is testable. It just can't be a random statement. I'm going to remove plastics from the ocean. Okay, and then what? Okay. Then you do an experiment, which is what we're going to talk about, look at more closely today, is actually designing your own experiment. You're going to collect results. So you're going to look at your results. It may take weeks, it may take months. If you're in college, sometimes it takes your whole college career. If you are a researcher, your research, your analyzing can take a couple of years. Okay, and a lot of professors are researchers. So in fact, that's how they got their PhD, because they dived into some type of research, and then now they're doing it even deeper, but they're also teaching you at the same time. And then you're going to have a conclusion. So when everything is all said and done, you're going to wrap it all up, and you're going to have some conclusions. In the real world, a lot of these conclusions look like, like when you did generators. Was it you that did generators? So it's like, okay, can we actually do generators? Can we put generators in? Yours wasn't effective. Was yours equipment? fitness equipment. It's like, can we put these generators in the fitness equipment and have it still be used and still be able to generate maybe electricity for our homes, things like that. Or, so that the conclusion is, what can you do with the evidence that you collected, with everything you've done? Okay? And then communicate these results. That means being able to do public speaking. We do a lot of public speaking in here, as you know. So being able to stand up for what you've created, or be able to sell your idea to someone else based off of what you've researched and what you've learned. All right. So some of the things you really you need to have are going to be independent variables and dependent variables. Every experiment has variables. These are the things you're testing. So your independent variable is what you're manipulating. Your dependent variable may or may not depend, or may or may not change depending on what you're doing with your independent variable. For example, some years ago, a friend of mine was testing her cat to see whether or not her cat had food allergies. And so she fed the cat her independent variable was different types of food. What she kept the same were stuff like the time she fed the food, the amount she fed the food, the dish she put the food in, the location where she fed the cat, all that stayed the same. What became a dependent variable was whether or not the cat could actually eat the food. Because she found out her cat didn't like rice. That was one of the things she had to feed the cat for a week was rice, and the cat didn't eat the rice. So she really doesn't know if her cat has food that has an allergy to rice because the cat never ate the rice. The cat was like, I'm not eating this. So that would be a dependent variable. Any questions? All right, you will also need a control. So with my friend and her cat, one of the things she would do was compare the findings that she had with her cat to a cat that, didn't have allergies. So her cat was eating rice, didn't eat rice. So her cat was eating, I think, oats one week. And so the other cat was eating oats. So the cat with no allergies eating the oats was fine, but her cat eating the oats, she would see whether or not her cat would have allergies to those oats compared to the cat that was fine. Does that make sense? So your control group is going to be a standard of comparison. It's going to be like the norm. All right, so we're going to actually do an experiment today. On your table, you have a list. You have a couple of things. You have one lotion, and you have three Jellos, 3 little things of Jello. And so I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to come up with an experiment. You're going to write it down. To come up with an experiment on looking at the effects of lotion on the skin. So you're going to look at the effects of lotion on the skin using what I've given you. Now, I will tell you this. You can either use only the lotion that's on your table, or you can use one lotion that's on your table and choose another lotion from another table. So you can either compare 2 lotions, or you can compare one lotion with itself. Does that make sense? All right, so I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to figure that out and then actually do the experiment. forget, ladies, you also have to do the experiment as well.
Well, at this time?
Yes.
Oh.
Now we're into the writing.
I think so. Okay.
And ladies, we got about a minute left.
Here, I got the Johnson.
Middle school children. Oh. All right, ladies, time's up. All right, so you have to make some decisions. The last slide was going to say, what did you do? So you've made some decisions, right? So what decisions did you guys make? What did you guys make?
How much we should apply? How much lotion we should apply to the jello?
Okay, so how much lotion you should apply to the jello? Would that be a dependent variable or independent variable? Okay, so it shouldn't change. Okay. What did you guys choose?
Which lotions to use for the
Okay, so did you use the same lotion or did you use
Oh
two?
no, we used to.
Okay.
This one they
And we chose small advanced therapy.
So what was the decision behind choosing those two different lotions?
We wanted to choose lotions that might seem like they have different consistencies or like how well they rub into the skin.
Okay, I like that. Okay, what did you guys choose? Oh, okay. I like that. What made you decide to do that?
Because every brand has said that there's a specific type of lotion for each type of skin, but every person's body has different reactions. So sometimes what may work for one skin may not work for the other. So that's why I think I had to try maybe like the consistent one, but on different types of skin to see which one works better for each person.
Like that. Thank you guys. What did you guys choose?
It's similar to them, but the reason we chose both of the lotions was because we wanted to try to see like how the lotion reacts to the same skin type. Because we chose the therapy and then the calming one, so we wanted to see which one, because they're both tested by dermatologists. So we kind of wanted to see which one would work best. In this case, with dry skin, because they're both dry skin.
I like that. You guys?
We chose to see, because like
forward to like a week, and let's say you left these jellos out, sitting out, and they were exposed to the elements, kind of like our skin, and you come back in a week and you look at your jello and you realize that, say, the lotion on the baby jello, the jello with the baby lotion had dried out, but the swab, the jello was still kind of moist. What conclusion could you gain from that? Or what conclusion could you come to? Okay, that certain lotions keep your skin moisturized. Now, what if the baby lotion was like $7, but the swab was $4? Economically, which one would be better? The $4 one, because not only did it keep your skin moisturized, but it also is cheaper. Okay, so, and like when you guys do shopping, I mean, this is an experiment class, but this is like something you could do when you go home. Especially for those of us who have very dry skin, that's something you deal with all the time, is trying to figure out what lotion is going to help out, right? All right, anything else before we conclude this? Any questions or discoveries that you kind of made while doing this? Or aha moments?
I think one, I like what the experiment you guys did about, I don't know how you guys will, I don't know, like tap the gel or something to make it like rough skin. I found that pretty interesting and you guys to do.
Any other aha moments? Or like, didn't think of that moment? All right, ladies, thank you for